It is Ryan Divish of the Seattle Times. Divish, how are you, sir? You got to unmute your mic, sir.
I thought you guys muted me because all muted. I feel like I'm.
I love it when other people screw up.
I feel like I had Jim back on live radio again. Well, I don't even know what I'm doing. I mean, like maybe I do, but I don't do this. I was a columnist. I don't understand. Sometimes I'm old. I mean, like
you're not old. You're 50.
I'm just impersonating you and how you talk. I don't know. I mean, maybe I should have written that. Maybe I shouldn't have said those things, but I don't know. I was just feeling it, and I mean,
hey,
I
don't worry.
A lot of things I did.
Don't worry about it. I had I had the wrong mic setting when we started the show. I just bought brand new equipment, so we're all screwing up together. We're all. But the only one that hasn't screwed up is Jim Moore. Jim, take a bow.
Take a bow. Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Whoa, jeez, I thought you almost fell down. There it is.
I'm happy he's wearing pants.
Hey, go Cougs. Look at that. We were in the Rose Bowl once.
Hey, Jim, all of Jim's reads are like Roy McAvoy's shirt and tin cup, like Salome Trucking and all that other stuff. Like he's reading them all off. And that's all I can think about is the tin cup shirt.
Hey, shut the hell up, man. I was going to give you a compliment, and now you're like giving me shit. What the hell? I really liked the thump and grump in your story today with Josh Naylor. I enjoyed that. Did you see that, Puck?
Yeah.
Everyone likes him because of the thump and grump. Josh Naylor. I thought that was a good line by Ryan Divish in the Seattle Times.
I love Josh, the whole thing. My favorite part of Josh Naylor, and again, Ryan Divish is with us.
Does he think he's Stephen A. Smith or something? Looking at his phone and not paying attention?
I guess I just won't get to the read that he's brought to you by. Are you done or go ahead? You want to continue? Can I?
I'm done. Yeah, you go ahead. Okay. You go ahead. You've never interrupted me one single time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, Ryan, someone's the star of the show and someone's not. So. Ryan Divish is brought to you by Chalet Bowl, Washington's oldest operating bowling alley. And Divish, I don't know if you know this, they are celebrating 84 years this week. 84 years. Chalet Bowl has been in business. They're located in Tacoma's historic Proctor District. Family owned and operated for over 40 years. Again, delivering top-notch customer service, 12-lane experience. Chalet Bowl, 84 years. It's been in the Frederick family since in the 80s, but 84 years overall. Continue with my favorite Josh Naylor moment last night, Jim. There's a picture. Divish, I don't know if you took it or who. I don't know who took it.
Jude took it.
Well, he's smoking a cigar, but he's smoking it not like you would smoke a cigar. It's like how you would smoke a blunt. Do you know what a blunt is, Jim?
Yeah, we used to call them joints, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, just different. Yeah, same deal. Little different. Well, it's a little different. You don't.
It was funny. I talked to Naylor kind of right there. Like they had the initial, the bottle popping and they're spraying everything, and then he just kind of stood in the back and just was smoking a cigar and sipping on a beer and just smiling. Like he had like it wasn't like a full on smile. It was like a smirk. Like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And I just asked him, I'm like, is this because he's been to the postseason with Cleveland? I said, is this better? And he kind of looked at me, and I don't think he really wanted to answer it, but he's like, yeah, this is what you want. This is what and I think just kind of what he saw from this team and how he fits into it and kind of the reception of the fan base, he's very content here. And I mean, you would think that the Mariners would try and capitalize on this. I know he's going to go to free agency and test the market because he absolutely should. But I mean, I do think that if there is an advantage somewhere, I don't know about a hometown discount or anything like that, but if there is an advantage, like Josh Naylor has seen how good this team can be, most of the pieces are coming back, and I think he understands kind of how the fan base has embraced him as well.
Where do you think we are with the contract with Naylor? Is it 5 years, $100 million, that neighborhood?
I mean, I don't think so. I don't know that anybody's going to get 5 years, any first baseman. You look what happened with Christian Walker this year. I mean, 4 years, 4 years, 18 to 20 million, I guess would be logical. If you really want to secure it, if you don't want to, if you want to make the best offer, that's probably going to be the best offer. Maybe you have an option for a fifth year. What is he, 28? I mean, that's a pretty decent age to do that. Walker got 3 years at 60 million. I think he was 32 when he got that, and he looks he looks pretty old right now. So I like the Mariners are still going to have to overpay, and you're going to the postseason. They had 35,000 people there last night. When the Rockies are in town, they'll have 35,000 tonight. The weekend series against the Dodgers is sold out. Like, they're not going to hit the attendance totals they had last year. They're going to come in, below that, but they aren't going to go away poor from all of this. You make the postseason, you get postseason shares, all this other stuff. Like, they have the opportunity to go out and capitalize. Like, I mean, I think it would be on brand, but it would be pretty terrible. It's like, regardless of where this run takes them, if they didn't use that and try and capitalize more, like get Naylor back, go out, spend some money on a free agent reliever, or do some moves to just kind of supplement what is already a pretty good team for another run at this next year. Because like I was talking with Cal Raleigh and a couple of those guys, like even Cal said, he was kind of naive at the thought of how difficult it actually is to get to the postseason. He basically 22 was his first full season with the big league club, and they got there. And and I think he even admitted that he thought they would always keep coming back because they had a lot of talent in place, and it doesn't work like that. And I think if the Mariners don't kind of capitalize on this, it would be really kind of disingenuous to the fan base, where they've asked him a lot from this fan base over the last couple of years.
Divish, what is clicked for this team? And by the way, you might be really the difference maker in all of this. Jim, I don't know if you know this. So he rejoined officially August 4th. Since then, they've gone 28-16. Now, many people out there felt when he returned would be the downward spiral for the Mariners, but it's been the opposite, Jim. They were 3 games back right when he came back, and now they're 4 games up on the verge of clinching. Now, the Mariners, Jim, will hold up and place a banner for a lot of things. I'm asking Kevin Martinez and the crew there, if they do, when they win the West, also put a banner up there acknowledging Ryan Divish's contributions to the team. Divish? Thoughts?
No. I mean, when I came back, I didn't do the first road trip of August when they were awful, but I did the second one when they weren't much better.
Still officially back though.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I'd be the cooler, kind of like, we all, have that one friend when it comes to betting circles or winning streaks. They're the cooler. They jump in on it. I was going to say it was Jim, but like he makes the outlandish bets. He doesn't jump in with he's like kind of the contrarian better a lot of the times. So no, I wouldn't call Jim the cooler. Yeah, Puck, I could call you the cooler. You were probably like the cooler too, like at a party situation, group of girls, your friends are talking, you come walking in, and all of a sudden they just part like the Red Sea, like, let's get out of here.
Yeah, pretty much it. Or the guy that's always, hey, would you mind taking a picture of us? I hate that. Hey,
Divish, wait a minute now. You say that the Mariners are pretty good, and I think you know me well enough that I'm kind of a downer and a negative guy. So when I say this, I think it holds. It holds more weight when I say what I'm about to say. The Mariners aren't pretty good. They're damn good. Okay, they're great. And even the guys in Vegas, DraftKings, Puck talks about FanGraphs, them having the best chance of winning the World Series. They're only like 4.5 to 1 to win the whole thing, or win the whole fucking thing, like Cal said. And so, I mean, this team really, to me, when I look at them, they really don't have weaknesses like other teams do.
No, I think we talked about this last week, but I think the American League in general, most of the teams have some flaws or some warts. We're seeing that a little bit play out in the last.
Hard to believe there's a siren in Tacoma.
I'm in Ording.
Yeah, so, or I didn't know if it was in Ording or where Jim is at on the coast. So we've determined what's going on in Ording. Is a live goat on the loose? What is happening in Ording, Washington?
Maybe maybe one of the fruit stands is charging less than the other fruit stands, and so like all hell is breaking loose. Somebody's in a pumpkin field stealing some pumpkins right now.
Oh God!
You never know. It seems like it's going out towards Graham. So there's.
Oh yeah, there's some issues in Graham. Yeah, there's some issues in Graham.
Yeah. So or Buckley, Enumclaw, what the most read story ever in the history of the Seattle Times is
Well
about
aware.
that man and the horse in Enumclaw. They'll never be topped.
Ever.
So, no, this is the most talented team I have ever covered, without a doubt, especially the starting lineup, like the position players. You look at it, 1 through 9, they're pretty much all established players. I guess you look maybe Canzone being the least experienced of all of them, but with a lot of potential. But the rest of the guys that they're putting out there are everyday major league players who have had like multiple years of success. And I think that's the difference. In years past, even in 2022, they relied on like weird platoon combos of utility guys and piecing the last little bit together and asking, unproven players to be everyday guys. I mean, even like Julio, while he was a superstar or like a superstar in the making, he was still a rookie that year. Think about some of the guys that they had to have come through in the postseason. And like this team is so much better than that. This is the best team in talent wise. It's even better than the 2018 team that had Cano, Cruz, Seager, D. Gordon, Gene Segura. I mean, they were really talented, but they weren't as athletic. They were aging. And well, obviously a few of them didn't really like each other, if you recall. But this, and like you're starting to see the rotation come back to life a little bit. You've got guys pitching well. I think for me is the biggest thing will be how do you handle the middle innings? But it's so different in the postseason. Like if you get into a middle inning situation, you're bringing in Bryce Miller probably to pitch those middle innings or somebody like that than you are like now where you're trying to look at Casey Legumina or Luke Jackson, maybe Caleb Ferguson, guys you don't necessarily trust versus when you get to the postseason, you can bring in a different guy. So, it's the most complete team. You look at the other teams. Yankees have some flaws at the back end of the bullpen. Devin Williams has been a mess. Then who else? Like the Tigers, obviously, and the Guardians. You don't really know how they're. I mean, the Guardians were just bunting one after the other against Skubal. It reminded me like of you're in Little League and you're facing the 12-year-old pitcher that already is shaving and his nuts have dropped, and you can't hit. So everybody's up there just close as they can to the plate, square around a bunt no matter what, because that's all you can do to even get a ball in play.
It was our best offense, yes.
Yeah, and then like, Boston, like none of these teams are like you look at them and say they're outstanding. Toronto's pretty good, but Bo Bichette's out. They don't know if he's going to come back. Anthony Santander just came back after a 60-day IL stint, and then the back of their bullpen has always been an issue, and also their manager John Schneider, he always does crazy stuff in the postseason. So like, since I've covered the team, this is the most talented team, and they're in such a good position with where the American League is at to get to the first World Series in franchise history. I mean, you look at it, you look at the path. They're gonna earn the second seed and have hope they could even get to the first seed, which is crazy. But they're going to have
long shot, but
yes. But they're going to have, they're going to be able to play at home. And what's so weird is we're talking about home field advantage for these guys when before it was always, they can't hit here, but they're actually hitting here and they can pitch here. So it's a pretty good path to the World Series if they just kind of, play how they've been playing.
What changed on the road for them?
So, they had the meeting that didn't go well. They had, Cal and Wu and those guys kind of got, they were pretty critical of the team, JP, guys that they were very open. Like, this is just not how we're supposed to be playing. And I think, on that Saturday in Atlanta, the night before that Chris Sale had shoved on them and they'd looked bad. And that next day it was pretty down. And I don't know if I'm trying to figure it out who it was, if it was Cal or whatever, but they just came up with the line, fuck it, go play. Just don't look at anything else. Just fuck it, and so if you look now, they have shirts that say pho kit, with pho from the, the Vietnamese soup, PHO, and then kit, and then they have all the things, and it's got a Mariners logo. That Garver got the shirts to remind them that that's what their mantra has been, is fuck it. And so it's been, and you think about that day. So that Saturday against the Braves, they weren't playing that well. And all of a sudden, Julio turned into Superman. He hit 2 bombs, made that ridiculous catch. And then they just went on a heater from there. Next day, they scored 18 runs. and they get back home, start winning, and kind of carried how they were playing and that mindset to Kansas City. And really, like when they were going in after going 2-1 in Kansas City, and probably should have went 3-0, but they're going into Houston, and I was texting with Adam Jude and some guys. I'm like, they're going to win the series. They'll win the series because they're just better than Houston in a lot of ways. And I thought but I didn't know that they would sweep it. But like after the first day and watching how they played, I thought they would sweep it. I mean, obviously it took Robles' ridiculous catch in the one game to save them. And if he doesn't make that catch, they probably lose that game because they're going to extra innings and their bullpen was pretty shot. But yeah, I really thought they were going to go at least 4-2 on that road trip, and they were better than that.
It is just amazing, when you hear you talk about the team that you've been around and everything that you laid out. I'm just sitting there and I'm kind of laughing inside. Jim, I don't know if you're like this as well, but you go from watching a team your entire life that has disappointed you every single year, and then everything you said, you're right. I mean, you start looking at these other teams, and you go, well, they stack up against all of them, and in fact, I mean, I think they're better than all of them. Now, they haven't proved it yet. Now, I think there may be a different team than the last time they have faced the Yankees and the Blue Jays, but both those teams have the season series against them. So we'll see what happens in the postseason. But we've always wondered with these guys, how will they play in the postseason based with their pitching, because they're kind of built for it. But now, Jim, now they got an offense that surrounds them, and they're just playing with such confidence right now. And I think it starts, Jim. I think it starts with the guy we've been talking about. I mean, since they acquired him. I mean, this was the number one guy I wanted. This was, when all the talk about Suarez, I was just, give me Naylor. There's a lot to like. His gut hangs over his belt. He's not slow, but yet deceptively quick. He's much better defensively. Jim, I don't know about you. There's an attitude that Josh Naylor brings to this team that they
a complete player in every way. And he won me over one night. I usually don't watch the post game. Sometimes I do. And then one night I saw Naylor being interviewed. I think it was after he stole yet another base. And the way he talked and then Ryan, you wrote a story too. I think you had a more in-depth interview with him. But the way he talked about studying the pitchers and, when he's in the dugout and just making sure, what he can do and how he can gain this little edge, that cerebral part of him. And I don't know if we've, in Seattle, ever had a fan favorite who's become a fan favorite that quickly. And Josh Naylor is right up there with whoever else you want to name. I mean, how long has the guy been here? 2 months, month and a half? And yet everybody loves him, and everybody's on board with give him whatever you want. I talked to my 96-year-old mom last night. She's like, God, Jimmy, they got to keep Josh Naylor. I just love him. Everyone loves him. It doesn't matter how old you are, how big a Mariner fan you are. Everybody can see that they need to keep Josh Naylor. And the other thing, Puck, and you guys talking about the lineup, I saw Canzone's comments about you don't feel the pressure anymore to produce individually because you know that if you don't, someone else is going to pick you up. Like Suarez, when he went 0 for 27 or whatever, yeah, you're going, God, come on, Gino. But it didn't matter as much because you got a bunch of other guys picking up the slack. So, yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, I think this team would give the 2001 Mariners a run for their money. And they won 116 games. And I say that, and I know the Mariners are only going to win 90 or 91 or whatever, but they won 15 to 16. So I don't know if that other team did that. I know that they won 14 in a row at one point, but yeah, they certainly could be the best team ever in franchise history.
No, that's a very legitimate debate, and we were having it last night. And we actually compared the 2001 Mariners to this year's Brewers, where they're so built for the regular season because they're so complete and they just kind of play and they don't make a lot of mistakes. But then you saw what happens when you get to the postseason and you don't have a guy that misses bats. Your pitchers don't miss bats. The 2001 team, their ace was Freddie, and then they had Seeley and Paul Abbott, who are good pitchers, but not lock down, shut you down, facing good hitters. They're going to give up contact. This group, when if Woo's healthy, when Gilbert's right, when Kirby's right, even Castillo, they miss bats. They don't allow hard contact, and that's why I think the 2001 team will always be amazing, but they were kind of flawed when they got to the postseason this team, as it's constructed, is better suited for the postseason. So, in that regard, you could say, well, this team will actually be better than the 2001 team because they have a better chance in the postseason to have success based on like how the talent assembled on the field. And the other thing is this team hits more home runs than the 2001 team does. You need to have a guy that's going to knock one out. I mean, like, and as getting back to Naylor, I didn't have as much appreciation for Naylor as a player because you don't see it. You only see the highlights, But if you watch him daily and you watch how he does stuff, that's where the appreciation for him comes in. It isn't just about the home runs. It's how he works to get a home run or when he swings at the first pitch because he's looking for something. He has an idea because he studies it. It's funny, Josh and Puckett, I'm sure as a coach, and Jim, you coached your boys. Josh Naylor said it's as simple as this. I watch the game when I'm in the dugout.
Yeah.
I pay attention to what's going on in the game when I'm in the dugout. How many kids don't do that? How many big league players don't do that?
Yeah, how many big league players do you see on the bench looking at an iPad all game?
Yeah, because they're looking at their stuff, not looking at what everybody else is doing.
Yeah,
whereas Naylor is studying everything, and he just kind of has, and because you're dialed in that way, you pick up stuff quicker because you've always done it. When you're not the most talented, when you're not the fastest or the biggest, or you got a little gut or whatever, you have to find edges to success. And I do think that's one thing that this team does in a lot of ways, whether it's Naylor, like the other day, Cal Raleigh, before the game, we're down on the field, and I was with Kramer and Jude, and I said, if Cal breaks the record, it'll come off of Framber. And I said, because Framber's just dumb enough or stubborn enough to throw him a fastball and challenge him because like Framber thinks he thinks it's like a manhood measuring contest. And so sure enough, Cal strikes out on a breaking ball the first time up, and the next time up it's 0-2, and Framber shakes off Diaz and throws a heater. And I asked Cal about it. I go, I can't believe he threw you a heater on 0-2. And Cal goes, well, when he shook off Diaz, I knew he was doing that because Diaz doesn't go off the playbook, and the playbook is to spin to try and get me out. And so once he shook, I knew he was throwing heater, so I was going to be ready for it. And I mean, like, those are the little things you pay attention to, and that's how you win games.
Hey, do you get a sense from talking to other writers that he's overtaken Judge now in the MVP race?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I think the thing is like everybody talks about the race and the bias, but like you're talking only 30 guys get a vote on this, and they're all writers, and this is their daily job. So usually the BBWA writers or a beat writer has a more of appreciation for what a catcher does than maybe, somebody on WFAN who's screaming about it or, whatever. Like, I think everybody talks about they're overlooking what Cal does. Are they, though? Are the writers really overlooking it? Are the people that have a say in the actual vote, or is it the outlying media or the fans or, content creators on social media and stuff that are trying to stimulate the debate? When most of the writers, I have an MVP vote. I go down and I have a list by WAR. I have a list of all the things I look at, and I start, trying to write out the 10 guys, and I change the order up and do that. I mean, I've done it several years now, like whether it's MVP or Cy Young, and a lot goes into it. And it isn't just like a cursory look or, you don't just use batting average. I mean, come on, I think we, while we can screw up a lot of stuff, give the writers credit. I think when you have an MVP vote and you're given that responsibility, you take a lot of time to consider all things. And the one thing is, it isn't best offensive player. It is not. If you look at the criteria for it, is the most value to the team. And it's not really specific to offense, defense, or whatever. It leaves a gray area there. So it's determined on what a voter believes brings value to the team. To me, Aaron Judge is going to DH in over 60 games this year. Cal is going to go up and down from a squat to a knee. Probably you figure 100 times a game? He's going to catch 150 pitches a game. How many innings he's going to catch? Judge doing that? Judge going to put up those kind of numbers if he's doing that kind of physical, just draining himself physically every game. We've already seen him go on the IL once, and that was a fluke deal. But look, Cal's going to play, and probably he's on pace to play in 158 games, and they're going to let him get every homer that they can. If they have to DH in the last couple of games, they want him to, and they should. But I have, if somebody said to me, "Would you be worried about voting for Cal for the MVP?" No, I wouldn't. I'd have my reasons. In the same way, if I voted for Judge, I'd have my reasons. But I think people think that there's this great debate, but I think the 30 dudes or the 30 people, writers that are voting on it, to them, their debate is what they measure value, not just intrinsic data of OPS and everything. Because you can pick and choose your stats all you want to find your edge, but what do you measure value, and how does that? Because some people say, well, if he leads these guys to the American League West title and to the second seed, the Yankees were in the World Series last year. Where were the Mariners? They fired their manager. They had to retool. They weren't even close. The Yankees were in the World Series. I mean, it's a little bit different. What is the value there? Are they winning the American League West without a guy that's hit 58 homers and catches 85% of the games? Probably not. So in that way, you can take team success and put it into context. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that the debate is interesting and it's fun for people to talk about it. But to me, it isn't. It's never just one idea or the other. They see all the side by side comparisons and stuff like that. That's not how you do it when you vote for it.
Okay, just so I'm clear, you said you have an MVP vote.
Yeah.
Are you going to vote for Cal?
I don't know. I can't say it because I can't affect the betting lines.
You can tell me off the record, man. Come on, I'm broke.
He's gonna go vote for Aaron Judge. Come on, man. What the hell you think he's voting for?
I don't need the.
I just wanted to clarify it. No,
you just want him on the record.
Yeah, I mean.
You can't even reveal your vote, right? They don't want you to.
You can't reveal your vote until after it comes out. So I have one.
Of doing this, Divish. I mean, he did this in the Joel Damon interview that's going to be coming out later today. He's fucking asking Damon, "Hey, man, do you ever bet on yourself in a tournament?" And Joel's like, "Hey, man, I can't talk about that. So don't worry about it.
I'm retired. Nobody's going to fire me anymore. I can say whatever."
Well, you never know. Someone can fire you.
I mean, but if you fire him from this, you're doing him a favor.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
hey, are we content creators? What are we?
You are Stadler and Waldorf from the Muppet Show, sitting up top there. No, I don't know what you guys are, but
I don't think content creators. That doesn't sound good.
No,
I don't know.
That's all right.
That doesn't really fit. Well, I've maintained this, Jim. I think we've talked about this before. I've maintained this. I don't think it's going to be as close as people realize. I think Cal's going to win this, and I'm not saying he's going to win it comfortably. I just think when the voting comes down, I think we're going to look at the breakdown and go, oh, not as close as I thought. That's kind of my gut on it.
I mean, I don't know that there's, it's hard to say. It's again, because the parameters for voting for value are so kind of gray or nebulous or whatever you want to call it. It leaves interpretation for certain voters what they measure value, but it's think about how many times Mike Trout has finished second when he was in his peak, that year. Victor, what's his name? Martinez, the guy in Detroit won the Triple Crown. Then Trout didn't.
Cabrera.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera. I was thinking of Victor Martinez, who's also on the team, but Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown. But he was basically a DH. Meanwhile, Trout was a Gold Glove center fielder that year and put up commensurate numbers, but he didn't. It was the first Triple Crown in a lot of years, so people looked at that instead. And honestly, if Shohei Ohtani is pitching, he's the most valuable player of everything at all times. It doesn't matter. He's the best one of the best base runners. He hits 50 homers and he throws 102. The other night when he hit his 50th homer, he also threw 5 scoreless innings, allowing 1 hit. He's the most valuable player of everything, no matter what. Not to mention, you get an extra roster spot because you have Shohei Ohtani. So it's all based on kind of what you think. It's weird too about the voter fatigue. You know, like you could go this way. Like LeBron's won 4 MVPs. He should have probably won more. I mean, Jordan should have won every MVP every year.
But you get fatigued. So Barkley's got to win it one year. The year or two that Steve Nash won it. And I think maybe that will play a little bit into it with Cal this year, that maybe there's some fatigue with the Yankees. I think that what can help him is getting to 60, kind of cements it a little bit, because that's a number, right?
You love round numbers. Love round numbers.
And then they need Toronto to win the division. Yeah. Because I think what happens if the Yankees win the division, then I think it gives people more, if they are on the fence, maybe more ammunition to vote there for Aaron Judge. Here, but I want to tell you, I want to give him the MVP simply for what he did.
You saying we love you? Might as well go win the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, goddamn. I mean, come on.
You saying we love you? Might as well go win the whole fucking thing.
Favorite is the little snort laugh afterwards, like he's a little kid and he knows that he swore in front of his parents and he knows it was wrong.
Yeah, like Cal is what I like about him is he's an old soul. So like when we were in Houston the other day, he had his iPad out. I go, what are you loading up to watch? Movies? He's like, I'm on Better Call Saul. He goes, I went and rewatched Breaking Bad for a second time. He was like, I got to watch Better Call Saul now. You gotta watch it all. You know, I watched the movie and I'm like. And then, you know, when he grew the mustache, and I go, dude, Cal, you look like you're straight out of Super Troopers. And he goes, Farva? And then he goes, leader of Cola, and just kept walking by. Like, that he watched, I mean, because, like, there are dudes in there. You think Cole Young's watched Super Troopers? You know, Naylor, I'm sure, has watched Super Troopers. But, you know, and then, Cal, that's a major league reference. Do you think your son or my stepson would get the reference right away when it's a reference to Major League? Like the Jake Taylor line? And like, that's what I like about him. He is, you know, he's 28 going on 50. I mean, like, it's great to have. Like,
and then I think it's, you had the nugget, right, of that in your conversation with him a couple of weeks ago that they used on the ESPN broadcast. I think Jude even used it in his story.
Costco nugget, yeah.
Jim, that's, you know what his favorite meal is, right?
No.
Costco dog.
The $1.50 dog and soda.
Costco dog. He loves
that's his favorite thing. I mean, he's an old
Costco dog and a slice, and then a soda.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Divish, if you haven't talked to him about going and doing a story where you follow him to wherever he goes, and you got to pick a day where it's not a madhouse, but it's always a madhouse.
Yeah, well, that was the problem. Yeah, and so I had the conversation with Cal. It was just like our BSing conversation. It was like an hour. I was in the clubhouse for like an hour. And actually, I stayed in there after it closed, but nobody really said anything to me because me and Cal are just kind of BSing. It's like I'm not really missing much from Dan pregame. He doesn't say a whole lot. So I'm like, whatever, you know.
We battled.
But Cal was telling me the story about just going to Woodinville, going to the Woodinville Costco with his girlfriend. And he pulled up and he backed in his truck, and there was a woman in an SUV because it's Woodinville Costco. They're all women in SUVs. And she turns and looks at him, and she just goes, like, oh my God. And then so he takes a picture, and then he goes into Costco, and, you know, I'm sure he was wearing a hat, but he's like, I got recognized right away. And then people were going crazy and yelling and like doing pictures and autographs. And he was like, at one point we just weren't going to get out of there. So we had to leave. He goes, I didn't even get my hot dog, man. You know, like, you don't think that, like, if you're those two brothers that own Costco, you're not calling up, because they're all friends with Stan, like, hey buddy, like, let's get him out here, all the dogs he can eat, you know, because he was like, I said, you really go to Costco? He's, I love going to Costco because you never know what you're going to get. He goes, I love to get the peanut butter pretzel bites. And he goes, I get peanut butter pretzel bites and stuff. And he goes, but then, you know, you see some good deals there. So then, like, they're good deals. So you got to get them, you know. He goes, you get your fruit there. You know how expensive fruit is? And I'm just like, he sounds like my uncle, you know, talking about this stuff. And so it's been pretty amazing. Like, and I think that's one thing is, like, he can't go a lot. He's going to learn that he can't go a lot of places. You know, he wins that MVP. He helps lead these guys to World Series or whatever it is. Like, he's going to be so recognizable that, like, it's going to be a lot different for him.
Who's his girlfriend? My mom was asking me that yesterday. She goes, Jim, I'm just curious about Cal's girlfriend. Who is she?
I can't remember what her name is. I've met her, and that's really bad that I can't remember her name. She's tall. She's like she's like 6 feet tall, I think. She was a former fast pitch player at like Southern Oregon or Western Oregon. So she's really cool. Like I make it after like dealing with the Julie Seeger drama with, at times I make it a habit of not meeting too many of the players' wives or girlfriends too often.
Okay.
I like
Julie Seeger, huh?
Yeah, well,
I miss her.
Not everybody loves the spunky little cheerleader that likes to take charge of everything.
You mean like everyone's, the team mom on the club baseball team?
Yeah. I can't say anything because my girlfriend was the team mom on the club team.
Hey, is this public news or not? But we all bet on whether you were going to propose by the time you got back. So
no, I haven't yet. So I'm working on it. I'm wondering if Reggie will allow me to have a wedding reception at the Chalet Bowl. For part of it. I mean,
sure, we can talk to him.
No, I'm trying to get that taken care of here. I don't know when I'm going to propose, but
Jesus, I mean, this guy just don't
be romantic with it.
I don't want. I'm not going to do a freaking. I'm not going to do a stadium one.
Yeah, please don't. Please, don't do it. Please don't do a stadium proposal or wedding. There's a special place. There's a special barge for those.
I promised my nieces and her kids that we would do a destination wedding on a beach. So we got to secure that and everything else.
Right.
And, part of that is like when, once I do that, it's kind of like, okay, this whole idea of living half the year here, half the year there, being separated all the time, you have to make some adjustments to that too. So
back to Havers where it is.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Damn right.
He actually wants to try and live out here. I don't know if that's.
Tell her no. Yeah, not worth it.
Haber's not going to change, just like Pullman. It doesn't change. So, if you look, I'm wearing the Haber Blue Ponies track. So I need some advice on this. My stepdaughter has a official recruiting visit at Montana State University this weekend. What do I do with this? Like, do I sabotage it? I was already going to go there and wear Grizz gear, but now I'm not invited to go to the
they want you want to sabotage something where school is going to pay her.
No, I'm not going
to go to school there.
How do I
you don't have to pay any money.
How do I feel like, Jim? If your sons would have got baseball schollies to UW, what would you have done? Would you have told them?
I would have driven them across the Montlake Bridge and happily dropped them off at the front door and said,
wearing a Coug shirt.
And I would have even said when the baseball team played, I would have been bow down to Washington and all that. I know I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Coug, but when it comes to the kids, if they got a baseball scholarship to play for Washington, I would have been a Husky fan for the baseball team. So I think you should let her go to Montana State. I think it's interesting that you're calling these kids, your stepkids and all that, like it's already a done deal. Are you sure she's going to say yes when you propose?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think she realizes she can do better, but
so she's going to settle.
Sometimes people extend charity cases beyond just donating something.
I wonder the people that are checking in right now. God, I can't wait to hear what Divish has to say about the Mariners. Why does Jim keep asking him about his marriage to his girlfriend?
I know. I don't know. I mean, what is there to talk about with the Mariners? They're really good. I don't.
They
do
are.
You guys
really
have
good.
a preference on who they play? If they get the second seed, like who you want to play with?
No,
I don't really care.
They'll be better than that team, whoever it is.
The only thing that worries me a little bit about Cleveland, even though their offense can't do anything, the only thing is that they're just so left-handed.
Yeah,
they got so many lefties. That would be the only thing.
You don't worry about like Detroit because you have to face like Skubal at least once.
They've got some weird thing. I don't know. They got some weird thing where they're really good against those top end starters, but I don't think. But I guess it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're better than both those teams. Jim?
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter to me who they face. Normally, I'd be thinking, God, they got a puncher's chance going into this. Maybe they'll get hot at the right time, but I don't feel that way with this team this year. I think they can beat all comers, really.
So Divish, when they let's get an update on Wu. What's the latest with Brian Wu? I know Hollander talked yesterday. What do we got?
So he's not going to pitch on Thursday, which I didn't think was going to be the case. He's supposed to play catch today, I believe, and I think that will tell them. And supposedly, any tightness in the pecs are the muscles in your chest, Buck. Okay, like you get them from doing push-ups. I made fun of Jim for like an hour, so I got to get a shot at you. So there's no tightness there, and so they're hopeful that he throws tomorrow, plays catch a couple days, then builds up to probably a bullpen. I don't know that. I wondered if they would pitch him like 2 innings to get like the game feel back, especially if the Dodgers series doesn't matter, because you're going to have a lot of time. If they clinch the 2 seed, they wouldn't play till Saturday, I think. So they have some time, but they can also run sim games and all that stuff to get their guys. Mm-hmm. That'll be the next debate if they win it. Is like, this is a bad thing. They need to keep playing, keep your rhythm like that.
I think it's a zero debate. I mean, absolute zero. And I don't even understand the people that think that it's a bad thing that they sit around. A bad thing for Eduardo Bizzardo to maybe take a day off and Gabe Spire and allow Brian Wu to get healthy and allow your catcher that's been squatting his ass for the last 5 months to maybe rest for a little bit. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I mean, and like the thing is a 3-game wild card series. All it takes is one really good outing from one starter, and then one bad thing to happen, and you're going home. I mean, look what happened to the Blue Jays when the Mariners played them.
Right.
Castillo shoved one game, then the Mariners are down in the Robbie Ray game, and all of a sudden all hell breaks loose, and the Blue Jays are going home. I mean, they're done. I mean,
you just bring it up, right? Well, we just talked about if they were. Let's say they were in the wild card against whoever. Would they be up against Detroit? Detroit. Yeah, you get Skubal, and Skubal goes 9 innings and shuts you out, and you're like, shit. All of a sudden, you're down 1-0. Yeah, it's just
no. And then you're expending all your guys. Then you're expending all your guys trying to win the second game to figure out how you can play the third, and then you're so gassed from that. And 2 days later, you got to start a division series. Right. I think you always want to. Look, you find a way to. I'm sure there are many baseball nerds in their office thinking of ways to keep their guys ready and polished, or like kind of, their timing and everything set. I mean, like whether it's bringing in pitchers from AAA to work out at T-Mobile and throw sim games, stuff like that, they can do that.
Hey, I'm disappointed in Alex Mayer, by the way.
Why?
Well, because last night, wasn't it typical of the Mariners to do what they did last night? 3 hits and 16 strikeouts and clinched a playoff berth. I figured Alex Mayer would be all over that. Like,
well, there's Jim, there's 5 playoff berths.
When was the last time a team clinched a playoff berth, striking out 16 times? You know why you didn't have that on Twitter? Because it's never frickin' happened. Okay.
How do you know?
Well, I think Suarez.
I don't know, and I'm not going to look
Suarez and Randy.
Hold on, Hey, I was texting with him this morning about something. What do you want me to ask him? Has a team ever clinched a playoff spot while striking out 16 times?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ask him that, and I'm going to just say no without doing the research.
Isn't that standard?
Even in the 8th inning when they rallied, they struck out 3 times in that inning too.
Yeah, I have. So like I have to. I was like, I had a separate game story all for them losing, and because like at that point, I had like 1, 2. I have like 7 paragraphs written. It's like I'm gonna have to post that because
okay. I just texted him. We'll see if he gets back to us while we're.
And they couldn't do anything with the guy that came in with a 9 ERA either.
I know. I think I jinxed it because I think I posted the ERAs of all the starters, and all of a sudden, like I'm midway through, like Bauer night's football practice. I look down. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? Like Cal, I think apologized to the fans for having to watch the first 8 innings.
Hey, so should we bet? Jim thinks we wait till tomorrow to bet on the Rockies.
Yeah.
But they looked like they were going at. They looked like they were going at it pretty hard, though, Jim, last night.
No, but they want to clinch tonight. The AL West.
But it's not a day game tomorrow, or today. It's a night game. Shit, those guys can get IVs and stuff like that.
Is it a day game Wednesday?
No, it's a night game
Thursday.
tonight.
Day game tomorrow.
Yeah.
You want me to look up for you?
No, it's all night games. It's all night games because they can't.
Okay.
They're at that. I mean, they're not going to have a day game with the Rockies. You weren't going to draw anybody regardless. And they have a limited. They can only have a certain amount of midweek day games. You're going to waste one on the Rockies. So it's a night game.
All right. They were getting after it pretty hard last night.
Yeah.
Wait, you got to go, Jim, or
these guys are young though.
I'll show you where I am here.
You got to remember, it's a lot easier to bounce back at 25, 26, 27.
We've officially, Jim's lost interest in this because now he's getting up and he's walking out, and for some reason we have to watch him go take somewhere, and he's going to lose connection. We can't see it because you're frozen.
Did he marry, or did he open a beer? I mean, he is retired.
I don't know what he's doing. He thinks he can go outside, which he cannot go outside. I'm just going to remove it because he thinks he can go outside with his connection and show. He, for some reason, wants to show you the entire Oregon coast like you've never seen the coast before.
I've never been to the Oregon coast.
Well, have you ever been to the coast?
Yeah.
Just in general? It looks like that. It's nothing just groundbreaking. But see, and I can see him in the green room. He still is just frozen. See? Look at him.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's good for him. You know what? He was getting bored with the conversation. All right, so real quick.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, and we've kept you really long, and I apologize. I should have told you we were going to keep you this long. I actually didn't think we were going to get this long with you. All right, give me the scenarios. Scenarios for clinching, and the magic number for tonight, and then the magic number for the second seed.
So if they win or lose, or if they win or the Astros lose, they'll clinch the American League West tonight. And then on Thursday, it's like now they need 2 wins. They need a combination of 2 wins or a loss and a win from whoever is the Tigers or the Guardians.
Which they cannot do tonight because they're playing each other, so it has to be settled tomorrow.
Yeah, so I think that's how it works. They have the tiebreaker over both those teams, the Guardians and Tigers. So they can, it is a little quicker, but logically, they could have everything locked up before Friday's series with the Dodgers.
And it's going to be a real hard. Hey, Jim is back with us now. See, when you go outside with no internet, it doesn't work.
God, it just sucks, man. Why not?
Okay.
I just moved. I moved like 5 feet.
Well, the hope of even getting the number 1 seed. I mean, it's a long shot just because of where the Yankees are at right now. Yankees are just a game back of Toronto, but the Mariners don't have the tiebreaker. Toronto, as we mentioned before, and the Yankees both won the season series with the Mariners, so there would be a lot of room for the Mariners to make up, and too much. But listen, the second seed is right there for them, and they'll probably get that second seed. And it's just going to be a hell of a run for a fan base that has endured just a lot of heartache for many, 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 many years. And there was a point in the season where it didn't look like they were, and it wasn't even that long ago where they maybe were going to miss the playoffs. So it's amazing where they're at right now. The Astros game tonight against the A's. What is Hunter Brown against Luis Severino tonight? So they'll likely will have another celebration inside that clubhouse. Will they go champagne again? Do they do it all over again?
I think they do. I think they do the 2 separate ones. So I just hope they don't do a third for clinching the second one, because I can't take that my Grizz poncho that I've had for a couple of years and my girlfriend got me for these same types of things. It didn't take too bad of a beating, but 3 nights in a row might be too much for it.
Who was getting after it the most? Can you divulge that or not?
No, it was hard to tell. Like, I don't even know how much they were drinking. It just seemed like they were dumping spraying spraying it. Usually it's the youngins like Cole Young or somebody like that because this is cool, dude. We got to do this. But I don't know. I left. We were on deadline, and I had to write for I wasn't. My story was on the other editors, so I had to get it in a lot earlier than like if it was just sports section. So I had to update it, before that. So
Jim, how do you feel about them? How much money have you put any money on them to win the whole thing?
I just won a little bit on them winning the AL West. $10 to 120. I bet that a couple of weeks ago. They're down to like 5-1 though to win the World Series, and I think they're only like 3 or 4-1 to win the American League. So it's kind of like betting on Scotty Scheffler. You know, you don't really get much return, but I can see why the odds are so low because they're so damn good. They really are the best team, and Ryan pointed out the American League not that great, and they're the best of the bunch. So I think it's going to end this year. I think the World Series finally is coming to Seattle.
That'd be great.
Are you betting on the Europe or U.S. for the Ryder Cup?
I bet on Europe. To me, it looks like the better squad, but they're underdog.
Hey, I want to just warn you, don't have a conversation with Curtis because then you're going to get a golfer by golfer breakdown about it. Like, Curtis got a little granular yesterday when I asked him about it.
I'm kind of with you, Jim. Kind of with you on that one.
Well, you get plus money if you bet on Europe, though.
I kind of like Europe's. I kind of like their
plus 160, so 20 to win 320, or 32. Yeah. All
right, Divish, thank you so much. Go read all of his work, SeattleTimes.com. Follow him on X at Ryan Divish. His weekly appearance brought to you by Chalet Bowl, Washington's oldest operating bowling alley. They're celebrating 84 years this week in existence. Go visit them at chaletbowl.com to book your next reservation. Thank you for a long, extended visit today. Appreciate you doing it live. Have fun covering this team. I mean, I know it's you're not rooting and not a fan and all that, but it's more fun as a reporter. Everybody knows this, that when the team is doing well. So
it's better for it's better for us financially at the times. We're getting a lot of reads and stuff, but like I have a lot of friends that are Mariners fans and and friends that work in that organization. So you're happy for them,
Yeah.
For Chris DeWitt and Joe Van Vleck. I mean, hey, man, they're getting playoff shares. That's big money for them. The farther they go, they make money and they work their asses off. So I want to see them, get rewarded for all the years of work and grinding it out and get a little playoff share.
I bet DeWitt was shit-faced last night. Guaranteed.
He's too nice. He's too controlled. I mean, he's not going to do that.
All right. Thank you, Davis. Appreciate it.
All right. See you guys.